When we start out in life, we're like a blank canvas. We're impressionable. And as we grow up, the pages of our story begin to be filled by circumstances and events and words spoken over us. And many times these things are good things that we love to recall, that make us happy. But also there are those negative things that have stuck with us all this time. These might be negative words spoken over us by a school bully, or a relationship that has broken down. Maybe it's been a friend that's passed away, someone close to you. Maybe it's that your parents were divorced. And sometimes these painful memories can lead to us thinking things that aren't necessarily true. That negative word that was spoken over you is true, that the reason you failed that thing is because you're an idiot, that the reason that relationship broke down was entirely your fault, that the reason that your friend passed away was God's fault. And the more that you think about these things, the more that they seem and become true to you. They become like words that are interwoven into the fabric of your existence. And then there are also those patterns of behavior, those coping mechanisms, if you like, that you turn to in order to pass away the difficulties of life. Many of us, when we're stressed or angry or anguished or anxious, we can turn to things that we know aren't necessarily good for us, but just help us to escape. These might be things like overeating, or looking at things we know we shouldn't look at, or damaging relationships, or turning to addictive behaviors like smoking or gambling, things like that are with us for so long that we feel like we can't escape from them as much as we want to. As much as we try, these things stick with us. They become what the Bible would call a stronghold, and sometimes we'll turn to repentance and resolution, but the more we fall into these things, the more that they become real, strong, and the more they hold us down. It's like shame has come into the equation and we can't escape. And we want to change. We want to get out of these patterns of behavior, these patterns of thinking. If only there was a reset button that we could press, a magic word that we could say in order for us to get free of these things. But you see, in an anti-commitment world, where anything that takes any effort is usually rejected for something which is easier, we're so keen on results, but not keen to go on the journey. See, these strongholds are fortified things which have been defended by habit. And you can't overcome a stronghold with a flash in the pan attack. You need a strategy. You see, you can be transformed. Not just changed a little bit, escaping a little bit, but actually fully transformed through the renewal of your mind. And what that means is starting to replace the lies in your life with what's true. But of course, the problem is these things have been with us for so long. These lies from our youth, these patterns of behavior we turn to have been with us so long, they feel like truth to us. And so it feels sometimes like we're banging our heads against a brick wall trying to get away from these things. But what we're called to do is replacing the things that aren't true with the things that God says are true. And it takes time. It takes effort. It takes commitment. It takes a journey. It may be many days of a lot of effort before the first cracks even start to appear. But if you keep going, these cracks will form holes. And if you keep going, these holes will form splits in the structure before eventually the whole entire building will come tumbling to its knees. And then you can be free. Free to be the person you were always meant to be. Free from the things that have been holding you down your entire life. Free to do the things you were always meant to do, to have impact in your life. But you have to make the choice to choose to stop listening to the lies, stop turning to those behaviors, and start to believe and listen to the truth.